Democratic Senator Joe Donnelly is recognized as the second most bipartisan senator since 1993. The recognition comes from Georgetown University. Donnelly has worked with Republicans to pass laws on military mental health and the opioid epidemic.
Signed into law in 2014, the Jacob Sexton Military Suicide Prevention Act requires an annual health assessment. The Indiana National Guard has worked to implement the law. Now that it's fully in effect, the more than 13,000 Guard members will be screened every year.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration has 90 days to bring Congress a strategy to address North Korean threats to our country and the allies. It's Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly's provision. Senator Donnelly says, especially as a member of the Armed Services Committee, his first obligation to Hoosiers is to protect the country.
March 29th became known as National Vietnam War Veterans Day just this year when President Trump signed a bipartisan bill by Senator Donnelly and Republican Senator Pat Toomey into law. The date is significant because on March 29, 1973, the last troops were ordered out of Vietnam.
A bill introduced by Indiana Senators Todd Young and Joe Donnelly is now a law. President Trump signed the Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act yesterday. It calls for providing mental health services catered specifically to emergency responders. It also calls for studying the effectiveness of crisis hotlines and annual mental health checks.
Senator Joe Donnelly says the state is getting more help to fight the opioid epidemic. Donnelly announced a $10.9 million federal grant to help Indiana curb opioid addictions. The grant is part of the 21st Century Cures Act that includes $1 billion over the next 2 years to help combat opioid abuse around the country.
The work has ended on the VA clinic, and this has been a long time coming. You've been a driving force behind it. What does today mean for veterans here in this area?
Tell us about your feelings now that the VA clinic is a reality.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for our veterans.
Senator dropped into Keener Dairy Farm on West Cook Road, where he witnessed how computerized equipment aids the process of getting milk from cows. Donnelly is traveling the state, getting input from farmers about some of the features they'd like addressed in the next U.S. Farm Bill. Donnelly saying that clear top price.